Last weekend, I went to a friend's birthday party. It wasn't just any party. It felt like one of those events you see in movies. The apartment was decorated with fairy lights. There was upbeat music playing, and everyone seemed to know each other and have inside jokes. People were laughing, dancing, and holding fancy-looking drinks. I stood by the door for a moment, taking it all in and feeling both excited and a little out of place. I didn't know many people there, and that made me nervous. I kept thinking, okay, just smile. Try not to look awkward. You're fine. Totally fine. My plan was simple. Grab a drink, stand somewhere casual, and look like I belonged. So, I headed to the snack table, which honestly looked like a dream. Bowls of chips, colorful cupcakes, and glasses of different juices and sodas. I grabbed a glass of bright red juice, hoping it would make me look more relaxed. With my drink in hand, I tried to walk confidently through the crowd, pretending like I had a destination. But deep inside, I was just hoping not to trip, not to spill, and not to say anything embarrassing. Little did I know that in just a few minutes, I was going to fail at least 2 out of 3 of those things. What I didn't realize was that the person I was about to embarrass wasn't just a random guest. It was the actual host of the party, the one person I really didn't want to upset. I was standing near the living room, holding my drink carefully with both hands, trying not to look too awkward. The party was in full swing. People were laughing loudly, clinking glasses, and the music was just loud enough to make conversations feel lively but not too hard to follow. That's when I noticed the host, Anna. She stood in the center of the room like the star of the night. Her sparkly dress shimmered every time the light hit it, and her big, warm smile made her seem like the kind of person everyone naturally gravitated toward. She was chatting with different groups, making jokes, and you could just tell she was the kind of host who made everyone feel welcome. I wanted to thank her for inviting me and maybe start a conversation, but my stomach was full of butterflies. I kept thinking, what if I say something dumb? What if she doesn't even remember inviting me? For a few minutes I just stood there, sipping my juice nervously and pretending to look around casually. Eventually, I gave myself a little pep talk. Okay, this is silly. Just go say hi. She's friendly. It'll be fine. You can do this. I took a deep breath, straightened my shoulders, and started walking toward her. The room felt more crowded than before. I squeezed between groups of people chatting in circles, nodding politely as I passed. My drink felt heavier in my hand for some reason. Just as I was about to reach Anna, it happened. Someone brushed past me from behind, not hard, but just enough to throw me off balance. My glass wobbled dangerously. For a split second, I thought I could save it, that I could steady my hand. But nope. Time seemed to slow down as I felt the glass tilt forward. Then, splash. The entire glass of bright red juice launched straight onto Anna's gorgeous sparkly dress. Everything froze. She looked down at her dress, now covered in sticky red spots that stood out like bright stains on a painting. The people around us gasped at the same time, and suddenly the music felt quieter, like the whole room was watching. I stood completely still, holding my now empty glass, my mouth open but no words coming out. My brain screamed, "Say something, anything!" But my voice was gone. Finally, after what felt like forever, I stammered. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean, someone bumped into me." Anna slowly looked up from her ruined dress and stared at me. For a terrifying moment, I thought she was going to yell or burst into tears. My heart was pounding in my chest, and my face felt like it was on fire. All I wanted to do was vanish completely. Maybe hide under the snack table forever. Anna stood completely still for a moment. her eyes shifting from her soaked dress to the glass in my shaking hand. The entire room had gone quiet. Even the music felt like it had lowered itself out of pure awkwardness. I braced myself for the worst. A glare, a yell, maybe even her asking me to leave. But then, something unexpected happened. Anna took a deep breath, glanced at the circle of people watching us, and she started laughing. At first, it was just a small giggle, like she was trying to hold it in. Then the giggle grew louder, turning into a warm, contagious laugh that echoed through the room. Within seconds, her shoulders were shaking, and she was wiping tears from the corners of her eyes. Everyone stared at her for a second, confused, until they realized she wasn't mad at all. Slowly, one by one, the guests began to laugh too. The tension in the room melted away like ice on a hot day. "Wow," Anna said between laughs, looking down at the red stains on her sparkly dress. "I guess I needed a new dress anyway." She twirled slightly, showing off the ridiculous splashes of juice like it was part of the design. I stood there in shock. She's joking? She's not mad at all? I couldn't believe it. Here I was, ready to crawl under the snack table and live there forever, and she was acting like this was the funniest thing that had happened all night. Then things got even more chaotic. One of Anna's friends, clearly inspired by her reaction, raised his drink and shouted, "Careful, or you'll be next." He pretended to stumble dramatically, wobbling his glass around like he was about to spill it. Everyone burst out laughing again. Suddenly, it became a full game. People started jokingly, almost spilling their drinks on each other, doing fake slow-motion stumbles, and dramatically protecting their clothes like they were in a movie. The party, which had been just a normal gathering before, turned into pure comedy. Even though everyone was laughing, I still felt guilty. I must have apologized at least 10 times in a row. "I'm so sorry. I can clean it. I can pay for the dress. Seriously, I feel terrible." But Anna just waved her hand like it was no big deal. "Relax, it's just juice," she said with a huge grin. "You're officially the party's drink spiller now. Congratulations." People cheered and clapped like I had just won some ridiculous award. I couldn't help but laugh too, even though my cheeks were still burning red. Somehow, my worst party nightmare had turned into everyone's favorite joke of the night. The rest of the night, everyone kept teasing me in the most lighthearted, funny way. It became a running joke that I was the official drink spiller of the evening. Every time someone went to grab a drink, they would dramatically hold out their glass to me and say things like, "Watch out, the champion spiller is here," or "Professional spiller coming through, make way." People even started jokingly stepping aside like I was a VIP, which made me laugh even more despite my earlier embarrassment. At one point, Anna disappeared for a moment and came back holding a big, colorful plastic cup. She handed it to me with a huge grin and said, "Here, this one is unspillable. I think you'll be safer with this." Everyone around us burst into laughter, and I couldn't help but laugh too. I raised the cup like it was a trophy, bowing dramatically as people clapped and cheered. Someone even shouted, "Speech! Speech!" So I held up my cup and said, "I'd like to thank gravity for this award." That made everyone laugh even harder. What surprised me most was how quickly the awkward moment turned into something fun. Instead of people avoiding me, they started including me in everything. A group even made a silly protect your drinks game whenever I walked past, pretending to shield their glasses in slow motion. It was impossible not to laugh along with them. At one point, 2 guests even staged a fake, slow-motion spill battle, pretending to pour imaginary juice on each other while I stood there as the judge. Little by little, I stopped feeling embarrassed. I realized that everyone was just having fun, and that no one was actually upset. By the time the music got louder and people started dancing, I had completely let go of my nerves. I danced with everyone, joked about my talent for drink spilling, and even pretended to fake spill my new plastic cup just to make people laugh. Near the end of the night, Anna came over, still smiling despite her ruined dress, and raised her glass toward me. "To the best and clumsiest guest of the night," she announced. Everyone cheered, and we all clinked glasses. That was the moment I realized something important. My biggest party fail, the one I thought would ruin my night, had actually become the best icebreaker I could have asked for. What started as total humiliation ended as one of the funniest, most memorable nights I'd ever had. On my way home, I couldn't stop smiling. I knew everyone would remember me, but in the best way possible.